the root. We have to go to the cause. Dealing with the condition itself is not enough.
Dear Mr. Massa, I'm just trying to mind my own business. What's the matter? It's just another day, another black king captured. I'm about to lose my brain, stuck inside this ghetto rapture. I got a lot of smoke. If you want it, you can have it. They want a hat trick, but this is black girl magic. Ain't talking about the kind that'll make you disappear, but I'm talking about the power of the melanin within. Ain't looking for trouble, but I'ma say this one time. I put 2 dukes up if you try to touch mine. We still want justice for Tamir and Trayvon. You say you don't see color, but racism ain't blind. They targeting little kids whose skin look just like mine. So I'm paranoid, it's a war zone outside. And I'm a black queen, so if you ask me to step out of my car, you gon' have to snatch me. Cause I ain't going no damn well. Had to spend my whole life living unfair. Ancestors got my back and they right here. You can never understand, it's a nightmare. Living in my black shoes by the black rules. You can keep your handshake, I don't dap coons. The white man to go nuts if he can't shoot. But you all on his side like a damn fool. Make it make sense.
We are oppressed.
Queen.
We are exploited. We are downtrodden.
Make it make
We are
sense.
denied not only civil rights, but even human rights.
Ahmadiyyah.
So the only way we're going to get some of this
Ahmadiyyah.
oppression and exploitation
Queen.
away from us or aside from us is come together
Queens.
against the common enemy. Who taught you to hate the texture of your
Ahmadiyyah.
hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin?
Ahmadiyyah.
Parents, pay attention to the books, the school system, even to your little children. Lies mixed with wisdom. His skin too bright, so he was blind to the prison. My skin just right, so I collide with division. You trying to pray to God, but we tired of religion. No savior saving, we got to save our savings. We used to pay miss, how we gon' make the slave rich? But who's to blame, and tell me why you complaining? We need a team effort just to rule the nation. Like a bad relationship, missing communication. We missing moderation. They're trying to get a poison to my population. No reparations. I'm getting tired of Satan.
We are oppressed.
I'm
Queen.
getting tired of waiting.
We are downtrodden.
Queen.
We are denied not only civil rights, but even human rights. So
Ahmadiyyah.
the only way we're going to get some of this
Ahmadiyyah.
oppression and exploitation
Queen.
all in my blood. Kings all in my circle, you touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen, why you hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans? I got dreams like King Luther, shed blood like Kunsa. You ain't helping my people, I ain't got nothing to say to ya. I want all the smoke like hookah, talking reparations. America won't be great until they give us compensation. I'm like, I'm the hottest right now. See a bunch of lames out here trying to jock on my style. They be doing too much. I'm the queen, it's too easy. It's like they all in Popeyes, how they be talking so greasy. I just sit back and laugh while these haters get madder. So nefarious how they don't want my pockets with cheddar. I tell them they can do better. These snakes in the grass can leave a bite on your ass, cause y'all be trusting too fast. I got my foot on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threat.
This is the sound of Eric Malcolm.
It's a cut on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threat. Running through every challenge like a relay, break no sweat. It's a cold game, so I got that blanket with me. Now that my people awaken, ain't no going to sleep. I do not play by my piece, this time I'm playing for keeps. You talking slick, but when I see you like them ends, we gon' meet. And I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle, you touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen, why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans, and I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle, you touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love love for the queen. Why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X to my jeans and I got...
There's a lot of people out here taking from people. Not only like people are getting robbed of not only their money and their spirituality. They're getting robbed of their womanhood and manhood. Asses are being taken in ways that nobody can explain. Do you chuckle? Do you laugh? Do you help? Do you criticize? Because I see a lot of jokes out there right now talking about baby oil. Everybody got a joke about having baby oil and lube. Is that okay? Is that the message? That was funny, fam. Now what? I don't use baby oil. Lube sometimes in sex makes it better.
Okay, you guys, what is wrong with Ray J? Okay, has he lost his mind? So, Grand Rising, everyone. Thanks for tuning back in once again to the original Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur show. I'm your host, Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur, and this is your morning wake up call. So, as you're coming in, please feel free to go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Be sure to click that notification bell and click the word all so you're notified each time the Queen Goddess goes live. All right, so let's get ready to get black into it. Everyone hit that like button. Remember, it doesn't cost you a single thing. Okay? Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Dr._A_Shakur, TikTok at Dr. A Shakur, and Twitter at DGoddess27. And as per usual, if you don't like what the queen is cooking, you already know what to do. Okay, hello, Juju. All right, New Orleans, Yahuwah's daughter. Donna is in the house. Emerald Light. Okay, most hated bronze flat power God, Pearly. Lillian X. All right. Nessie X is here. All right, so let's get into it. Everyone, please get the likes up. Shout out to all of the loyal royals and everyone tuned into the Queen. Before we get started, let's have a word from my sponsor at 12 Tribes. Get those likes up, beloveds. Get those likes up. I'm going to start pausing the video until the likes are where they're supposed to be, until the likes start liking.
Do not buy 12 Tribes on Earth hair growth oil and hair magic elixir unless you want super healthy, gorgeous hair that grows. They have a whole line of amazing hair growth products, including hair growth leave-in conditioner spray, hair growth shampoo, hair growth spray, and hair growth butter. I'm starting to sense a theme here. They include quality natural ingredients. They smell amazing, and you can see the results for yourself. So if you're looking for healthy hair growth for your natural or relaxed hair, try 12 Tribes on Earth today.
Right, and don't forget you can purchase 12 Tribes at Etsy.com. Look for Lisa Crafts, and also you can find it at Walmart.com. Okay, now let's get into this because we have a bunch of stuff to talk about. All right, and I will be live on the backup channel because it's too much to do on this one. Now, that all being said, Diddy is trying to get out of his nefariousness. He is now saying that the feds leaked the Cassie tape. He's now accusing, he and his attorneys, their legal team, is basically saying that the feds leaked the video to CNN. Now, a lot of people were saying that. I told you guys that if the feds leaked it, they could be in big trouble. I told you guys this months ago that I don't think they would have done that unless they're just stupid. Because if they leaked that and anyone got hurt, and also not to mention they could compromise the integrity of the case. Do you guys remember me telling you this? Once in the chat, if you remember me telling you this. Once in the chat, if you remember me telling you guys that if the feds leak the tape, at the end of the day, they could compromise the integrity of the case. And also, if somebody got hurt, they could be sued and held liable. Okay? So that all being said, Diddy, please sit down somewhere because you know where Diddy and his team got this from? They got this from Mayor Eric Adams. You see, because Mayor Eric Adams did the same thing, accused the feds of leaking information to the press. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. He literally took a page out of Eric Adams's handbook or his playbook. The alleged leaks from federal authorities prejudiced the public against Diddy. Okay, months before his September 18th arrest. That's what his defense team said. Now, his legal team did not reveal more details about their expected accusations, which would mirror those made by Mayor Eric Adams, okay, saying only that they intended to file a motion with the court at some point today. Okay, they say the indicted New York mayor claimed earlier this month that federal agents and prosecutors leaked details about their probe into his 2021 campaign in a bid to get witnesses to flip on him and to damage his public standing. So Diddy's alleging the same things. Now, the feds absolutely may have done this, but if they did, that's not good for their case, for the prosecutors. News that investigators with Homeland Security Investigations had raided Diddy's homes in Los Angeles and Miami received widespread media coverage back in March. Now, the raids turned up troves of evidence, including bags of narcotics and more than 1,000 bottles of baby oil, okay, and lubricant. We already know about that for his nefarious freak offs. Now, Diddy is due back in court for a conference on Thursday. That's today. Is also pushing for his trial to unfold in April or May, according to Wednesday's publicly filed letter. Now, Diddy faces charges of racketeering, and we already know the charges. Okay, so he's trying to blame this on the feds. He's trying to say that it's the feds' fault, that they leaked the information. Same thing that Mayor Eric Adams said. Yeah, I find that all interesting because here's the thing. If they had actually leaked the video footage, or not if they actually did it, but if Diddy and his attorneys actually felt like the feds had leaked that footage, they would have said something a long time ago. They would have said something when the video came out. And, it would have made sense if they said it at that time, because this happened after the feds raided his properties and confiscated all the stuff. And so, yeah, it would have made sense for them to think after the video got leaked that, hey, it had to have been taken when the feds came into the house. Okay. But no, they didn't say anything. And you know why they didn't say anything? Because I believe they know that the feds didn't leak that video. Because you know who I think leaked it? I've always told you guys that I think that Cassie's attorneys leaked it. And that's what I still think. Now, but however, if the feds did foolishly leak it, well, they have compromised the integrity of the case, because you see, that could be an argument for Diddy's attorneys to say that now they have prejudiced a jury, that perhaps he won't be able to get a fair trial. This is what happens when that type of stuff, becomes a factor. Now, hopefully they didn't leak it, but if it's found out that they did, that's not going to be good. Okay, that's just not going to be good. I want you all to pay attention. There's a whole lot of stuff going on with this case. They've got DeVante Swings now being accused of aiding Diddy. They've got a witness or an alleged victim, Thalia Graves, accused of bribery. I mean, they have so much going on. Okay, but we're going to get into it. Like stuff, everyone, please like and share. Now, let's talk about Diddy's paperwork. Okay, let's talk about this motion that his attorneys filed for his hold on, let me pull this up real quick. For his third attempt at getting bail. For his third attempt at getting bail. Now I'm going to share my screen and we're going to go over this. I'm not going to go through the whole thing. It's like 31 pages. Okay, but we're going to go over some of it. Sunset Knight says, even if they leaked it, it's not illegal. Remember, they can legally lie to you in an investigation. Yes, they can lie to you in an investigation, but they're not supposed to be leaking information. Okay, specifically not the feds. A Red Wine, thank you for becoming a channel member, beloved. Peace, love, and blessings. The feds are not supposed to be leaking information. They could get fired. They could get sued. Someone could get injured or hurt. They're not supposed to do it. Okay, that's not how the law works. Yes, the police are unfortunately able to lie to us, which they shouldn't be, because I'm sorry, isn't there something called entrapment? But I guess that doesn't work anymore. Okay, so let's get into it. I'm going to share my screen. Likes up, everyone, please. Like and share. Overthought said, if he kept the Cassie tape, I bet he also kept Thalia's tape. That's if Thalia's even telling the truth, because Joseph Sherman, aka Big Joe, the former bodyguard, said he wasn't even working for Diddy at that time. And that should be something that he could be easily able to prove and verify. But also now her own ex-boyfriend has come out and said that she tried to bribe him by offering him money to lie for her and to corroborate her case. So I don't know, honey. This is all getting real messy. Like I told you guys a while ago, this is all getting real messy. Okay? So please pay attention. That all being said, let me share my screen so we can take a look at these legal docs. Let's get into it. Okay, so it says bail may be denied only in a rare case of extreme and unusual circumstances. This case does not involve extreme and unusual circumstances, but none that typically foreclose bail on warrant or warrant forcing Sean Combs to defend himself from a prison cell. What is extreme and unusual about this case is that Mr. Combs was detained immediately after he was charged, even though he has been in the spotlight his entire life, with many of his purported antics and episodes being widely reported in the press and known to law enforcement authorities. Now, here's what I want you all to pay attention to. I want you all to pay attention to, because remember, you heard it here first. They're saying many of his antics were known by the authorities. Now, why is that important, Queen Ahmadiyyah? Why are you bringing that up? Well, I'm so glad you asked, because didn't I tell you guys on yesterday that if Diddy was actually working for the feds as a confidential informant, didn't I tell you guys that he could try to use that to get off by making the argument that the feds were aware of everything nefarious that he was doing and that they signed off on it? Didn't I tell you guys that? Please pay attention. So now listen to how they slid that into his appeal for bail. Okay? Please pay attention. So are they acting like, listen, let me just read that again. Even though he has been in the spotlight his entire life with many of his purported antics. Now, they're not being specific. They're being very vague when they say his purported antics, because what exactly are they talking about? Criminality or just different things that he's, been engaging in, such as partying too much or whatever. But please pay attention. And episodes being widely reported in the press and known to law enforcement authorities. This is what they say. Now, indeed, hardly a risk of flight. He is a 54-year-old father of 7, a U.S. citizen, extraordinarily successful artist, businessman, and philanthropist, and one of the most recognizable people on earth. The sensationalism surrounding his arrest has distorted the bail analysis. Mr. Combs was not released pending bail, even though he offered to comply with restrictive conditions that would have prevented any conceivable risk of flight or danger. Now, the district court detained Mr. Combs in a conclusory, bare bones oral ruling, apparently because of unspecified concerns that he would obstruct justice and intimidate witnesses. The government's arguments about the risk of obstruction were based on speculation, resting mainly on untested allegations about communications with witnesses in civil cases and communications initiated by supposed witnesses and not Mr. Combs. The government even claimed in his public denial of a former ex-girlfriend's allegations in a civil lawsuit constituted attempts to obstruct justice. So they're basically saying that they're not even giving Diddy a chance to defend himself. That they're saying that the attorneys are saying basically that when Diddy tried to defend himself against the things that were being said, they said he was obstructing justice. That's what they said. He was attempting to obstruct justice. Now, if denying accusations by civil plaintiffs could justify pretrial detention, the liberty protections of the Bail Reform Act and the Constitution, not to mention the First Amendment, would be meaningless. Throughout the bail proceedings below, Mr. Combs rebutted the government's proffers. Oh, so they offered him proffer agreements. Now, this is interesting. This is interesting right here. I want you all to pay attention. So they offered Diddy proffer agreements. Now, we didn't know this. When was this ever brought out before? Now, but without fact-finding or analysis, the district court endorsed the government's exaggerated rhetoric and ordered Mr. Combs detained. In doing so, the court committed legal error, rejected a plainly sufficient bail package, and violated its obligations under the Bail Reform Act. Mr. Combs is presumed innocent. He traveled to New York to surrender because he knew he was going to be indicted. He took extraordinary steps to demonstrate that he intended to face and contest the charges, not flee. He presented a bail package that would plainly stop him from posing a danger to anyone or contacting any witnesses. Under the Bail Reform Act, liberty is the norm, and detention prior to trial or without trial is the carefully limited exception. And then he references the case of United States v. Salerno, okay, and which clearly set precedent. Now, Mr. Combs is entitled to release under Federal Rule of Appellate Procedure 9 and 18, okay, USC Statute 3142 and Statute 3145, an immediate release pending deposition or disposition of this appeal under Federal Law of Appellate Procedure. And likes up, everyone. Please don't forget to like and share. Now, I'm going to skip through some of this and go to the background. So long before his indictment, Mr. Combs took numerous steps demonstrating his trustworthiness and commitment to proving his innocence in this case. Now, since 2024, he understood he was the target of a serious federal investigation. Nonetheless, he immediately directed his counsel to proactively reach out to prosecutors. He subsequently took extraordinary steps to voluntarily surrender and to try to satisfy any possible government concerns about flight risk. Months before the indictment on March 13th of 2024, Mr. Combs' counsel emailed the assigned AUSAs to introduce himself and ask to speak with a prosecutor so he could provide information about the case. Please pay attention. Now, he renewed that request 5 days later. The government never responded. On March the 25th, now I want you all to pay attention. The government never responded. He reached out to them to give information about the case. So was Diddy going to snitch? Was Diddy wanting to snitch, hoping to get a plea deal possibly or to get immunity? I have several questions because Diddy reached out to them to give information about the case, to give information on himself or other people. I have a whole lot of questions, but nonetheless, the feds didn't even reach back out. So on March the 25th of 2024, the government executed search warrants on Mr. Combs' residences in Miami and Los Angeles. Okay, Mr. Combs was personally searched, as was his plane. Counsel agreed to accept service for 2 grand jury subpoenas to Mr. Combs' businesses. On April the 1st of 2024, defense counsel took custody of Mr. Combs' passport and advised the government that it would not be returned to him and he would not leave the country. Counsel also promised to advise the government in advance of any domestic travel by Mr. Combs and did so, sharing his whereabouts and travel plans at least 9 times from May to August of 2024. Mr. Combs also put his private airplane up for sale because of the investigation and notified the government accordingly. And he advised that multiple relatives, including his mother and 4 minor daughters, had given counsel their passports. Now, Mr. Combs also paid off the outstanding debt of $18 million for the home, for his $48 million home on August the 20th of 2024. Okay, I'm going to skip past some of this. Now, Mr. Combs was arraigned on September 17th of 2024 before Magistrate Judge Robin F. Ternofsky and pled not guilty. The government sought detention, arguing that Mr. Combs presented a flight risk, danger to the community, and risk of obstruction and witness tampering. Mr. Combs appealed. Now, the district court held a bail hearing on September the 18th of 2024. The court began by noting that the government primarily seeks detention based on a risk of flight and the danger of obstruction of justice or witness tampering. Okay, the court indicated that based upon the parties' written submissions, its lesser concern was risk of flight, and its bigger concern, or the bigger deal, was that of the danger of obstruction and witness tampering. The government reiterated the indictment's allegations and only vaguely alluded to possible witness testimony and evidence, primarily relying on a widely publicized March 5th, 2016 video of Mr. Combs depicting a domestic violence incident with a former girlfriend called Victim 1 in Count 2. The government also mentioned text messages and phone calls between Mr. Combs and potential witnesses, primarily witnesses in civil lawsuits filed against Mr. Combs. Now, the government went so far as to argue that Mr. Combs' public statements that a civil lawsuit was riddled with lies were attempts by him to obstruct justice. Okay, let me say something right here. Now, yes, Diddy is nefarious, and I believe that he probably did most of the things he's been accused of. But hold up, wait a minute. So you mean to tell me that you cannot defend yourself against allegations? He can't say that these things are lies? I want you all to pay attention because would they be doing this to someone who wasn't Diddy's complexion? I'll just have questions. Okay, but let's continue. Now, regarding the March 5th, 2016 video, defense counsel explained that Mr. Combs and Victim 1 shared a 10-year romantic relationship that was often mutually toxic. Counsel noted that countless written communications tend to negate any lack of consent and any coercion regarding their sexual activity, and cited evidence showing a long-term loving relationship that became strained by mutual infidelity and jealousy. The overwhelming written communications describing their consensual sexual relationship included communications concerning their mutual decision to bring a third party into their intimacy. The violence depicted on the March 5th, 2016 video was entirely separate, stemming from jealousy from infidelity 8.5 years ago. Defense counsel cited interviews with half a dozen male escorts who participated in the freak-offs described by the government and confirmed they never witnessed anything remotely non-consensual. See, I want you all to pay attention because all this stuff's now coming out. So they're saying that half a dozen male escorts who participated in the freak-offs said they never saw anything shady, never saw anything non-consensual. Now, counsel explained that Mr. Combs and Victim 1 both suffered from serious drug problems at the time of the video and subsequently participated in rehab before eventually separating in 2018. Counsel further explained Mr. Combs' communications regarding Victim 1's November 2023 lawsuit. Years after the couple's separation, a lawyer representing Victim 1 demanded a $30 million payment for Mr. Combs in exchange for the rights to a tell-all book Victim 1 had supposedly written. So when Mr. Combs refused, Victim 1 retained new counsel who filed a lawsuit, which was quickly concluded with a large settlement. This prompted a torrent of other lawsuits. Although Mr. Combs communicated with others about the conduct alleged in these civil suits, including individuals that the government now characterizes as victims, at the time he knew nothing about the SDNY, that's the Southern District of New York, their investigation and was not engaging in any attempted obstruction. Now, the government had no response other than to say that Mr. Combs certainly suspected the possibility of an investigation, citing his statements that he was not supposed to be speaking on the phone. Defense counsel also rebutted the government's other obstruction and witness tampering allegations regarding a civil lawsuit filed against Mr. Combs on September 10th of 2024. Now, after the suit was filed, Mr. Combs spoke with an individual the lawsuit identified as a prominent witness to his alleged violence. The individual in question was very upset about publicity and wanted to make a public statement that her personal experience diverged from the lawsuit's allegations. As counsel explained, this witness was represented by an attorney at the time of the communications and could be an important defense witness with whom the defense will likely continue speaking. Counsel further explained that Mr. Combs had, with counsel's blessing, called potential defense witnesses to let them know that counsel would reach out to speak to them. So this is what they're saying. The feds are accusing him of witness tampering. So his attorneys are saying that he wasn't witness tampering, that they gave him permission and in fact told him to call these witnesses because they wanted to use them, on his behalf. So, notably, search warrant affidavits disclosed to the defense on October the 7th, 2024, confirm, and they've redacted some of this information, as you can see. But during its proffer to the court, the government concealed this fact, which completely undermines its claim that the timing of the contacts with the witness in September of 2024 suggests obstruction. Although the government vaguely described contacts with two grand jury witnesses, it proffered no evidence of any threats or intimidation. The government could only state that there were 14 total contacts between Mr. Combs and one witness and another witness who was contacted multiple times. Defense counsel explained these contacts involved no obstruction or witness tampering. For example, one witness contacted Mr. Combs, not the other way around. So the witness called him. She reached out to Mr. Combs and told him, I'm a grand jury witness. After Mr. Combs informed defense counsel, he was instructed not to contact the witness anymore, and he didn't. Now, of course, the defense explained that it must continue to interview witnesses to conduct a responsible defense investigation. Now, in addition to rebutting the government's proffer, Mr. Combs proposed a strong bail package. Prior to the district court hearing, the proposed conditions included. I'm not going to go over that because we already know everything that he proposed. Now, with that all being said, okay, I think I'm going to stop it right here. I'm trying to see if there's anything else in here that I need to go over. So here's their argument. They say this court has held that clearing and convincing evidence that there exists a serious risk of obstruction or witness tampering can justify pretrial detention. Okay, so I'm going to stop it right there. But it's interesting to find out all this other stuff that they're now saying. It's interesting to find this all out. Okay, so please pay attention. Now, with that all being said, I told you guys this is getting real messy. Okay, now I'm going to share my screen because I want you all to hear a clip from this video. Hold on just a second. I want you all to hear what this attorney has to say about Diddy's case. Okay, I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to put an overlay on the screen because I don't have permission to use this footage. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Thank you in advance.
Is certain issues that I'm sure that the court has had issues with regarding Mr. Combs having assault weapons with altered serial numbers at his home. I think that's something that any judge, whether it's an appellate judge or a trial court judge, is going to have an issue with because it really puts you out there as a criminal, as somebody that could be a danger to the community, which is one of the factors that the courts are looking at. I didn't see anything in the motion that they filed in the petition to the appeals court that I think would change the ruling on bail.
Very interesting. They're saying that, the defense in this case, that he is not a flight risk, that from the very beginning of this case, he has been forthright. This is somebody who's wanted to prove his innocence. He, in preparation, he knew he was going to be indicted. So on September 5th, he flies to New York and he's hanging out there in preparation to turn himself in. And the feds decide to swoop in and take him into custody. Instead, it's kind of like the big bad federal government coming after Sean Combs when he's tried to cooperate. But, on the other side of the coin, they're saying the government argues, look, he's tried to obstruct justice and essentially intimidate witnesses.
Yeah, and that's a problem. I mean, if you look at the history of the case, by the time that they served search warrants on his properties, he was already heated up. Like, it's not like at that moment he had lawsuits pending. he should have known that maybe I shouldn't have machine guns with altered serial numbers at my house. So it doesn't seem like he was thinking rationally, which if you put yourself in the mind of a trial court judge, he's going to say to himself, you're the same person that at the moment that you had the federal government go into your property, that you had these machine guns with altered serial numbers. Are you the type of person that's going to commit an egregious error while out on bond? Are you the type of person that's going to try to affect the testimony of witnesses, which is literally accused of? So it's an issue for him. And really, no one out there is going to fault a judge for not giving him bail. Right now, P. Diddy is not the favorite person of anybody in the United States or the world, or especially New York. He's someone that he's a batterer of women. They publicize that, and I don't think that many people are going to criticize a judge for not giving him a bond. Now, on the other hand, if you do give him a bond and he does anything out of the ordinary, it's bad for the judge and it looks bad.
This case really started in November of 2023 when Cassie Ventura filed her civil suit.
Okay, so I'm going to stop right there. I'm going to stop right there with that. So, he gave his thoughts on it, but at the end of the day, I agree. I don't think that Diddy's going to get a bail. Okay, no matter what his argument is, even if his attorneys can prove that he wasn't really witness tampering or trying to obstruct anything, he still likely will not get a bail, because let's not forget, there is one person who recently came forward and said that he was reaching out, harassing and intimidating her as recent as July of 2024. That's just months ago. And also, to what the lawyer said, to his point about Diddy having those guns in his house without the serial numbers, with him having all of that freak-off footage in his house, that's absolutely crazy. That is crazy. If you know that you're under a federal indictment, or not federal indictment, but if you know you're under a federal investigation, why would you have anything that's, could be used as evidence against you anywhere on your property? Anywhere. I mean, did he not know that they would eventually do a search? Did he not know that they would eventually come to him with a search warrant for his properties? What was he thinking? Okay, what was he thinking? Or did he just think that he would just not, that it wasn't going to go this far? Did he think he was going to be able to weasel his way out of it? I have several questions. Okay, because that's not making any sense as to why he would still have those things in his home. But anyway, let's talk about DeVante Swing, because I told you guys when Liza Gardner and Joy Dickerson-Neal's lawsuits came out, I said, what is Jodeci, first of all, doing hanging out with minors? Because they were adults. And what were they doing taking these minors to go and meet up with grown men like Diddy? Okay, so now, and I also told you about the provocative things they were doing on stage in front of children, not at an adult show. It's supposed to be family friendly. It was supposed to be a family friendly event. There were kids there. And in fact, how some of the parents sued them. Okay, so I knew that this was going to happen. Now, Sean Combs' grape accuser claims Jodeci member aided and abetted the assault. And also, let me just say, that was pretty much the fact that, remember in the lawsuit filings when the woman said that DeVante was watching, or he saw the video that Diddy showed him and other people the video. I knew this was going to come out when Tony Busby said anybody that watched and didn't do anything, anybody that knew what was going on and all of that. I knew, because if this person's a minor and you know that Diddy did this and you see him, because she says that she was drugged. So you didn't realize she was unconscious when he showed you the video? Okay, but so let's get into it, because this is all nefarious. Now, the explosive lawsuit that alleges Sean Diddy Combs and R&B singer Aaron Hall took turns raping a highly intoxicated 16-year-old girl at a private residence in 1990 has added Jodeci member DeVante Swing as a co-defendant. In a new amended complaint filed in federal court in New Jersey, plaintiff Liza Gardner alleges that Swing, born Donald DeGreat, was present at Hall's New Jersey residence in 1990 when Combs allegedly pulled Gardner's underwear to the side and forcefully raped her, okay, leaving her shocked and traumatized. Saying, unbeknownst to Miss Gardner at the time, defendant Swing was in the room when this assault took place and did not take any steps to prevent this abuse from occurring. Okay, now the new filing follows after a woman submitted a sworn statement in the case last May stating that she was a fellow minor accompanying Gardner that night and allegedly saw Swing leaning against the wall or furniture or something, watching whatever Puffy was doing to Liza. In the new filing, Gardner alleges that Swing was 20 or 21 years old at the time, a few months older than Diddy. She says that she had traveled to New York to the area with Swing and a group of friends from her hometown in North Carolina and was staying with him in his New Jersey housing allegedly subsidized by Jodeci's label at the time, Uptown Records. Okay, so according to the amended lawsuit, a disoriented Gardner was trying to collect herself after the alleged rape by Combs and Hall purportedly barged into, or when Hall purportedly barged into the room, pinned her down and raped her as well. Okay, she includes a photo in her amended complaint that allegedly shows her in the kitchen that day with a 26-year-old Hall extending his arms around her shoulders. Gardner claims that the day after the alleged assault, an irate Combs came to her home. Okay, so I want you all to pay attention because here's the thing. This is just all real crazy. Now, DeVante Swing was literally right there watching. He was literally right there watching. Now, the thing is, this lawsuit's been amended. I'm thinking, and I believe I'm right, that Liza Gardner's attorney amended this lawsuit. She had this lawsuit amended after Tony Busby said what he said. After Tony Busby came out and said anybody who watched, participated, allowed it to happen, didn't say anything, that he was going to come after them. So now this is why DeVante has been brought into this. I want you all to pay attention. So with that all being said, I'm just going to go back. She says, hold on. Combs and Hall are accused of assault and battery in the amended complaint, while Swing is accused of aiding and abetting the alleged abuse. The new filing claims Swing was Gardner's co-guardian at the time because he invited her. Okay, so she's saying that he was supposed to be in charge of her. Says that he invited her on the trip. He had a duty to protect the child as her parents entrusted him with her safety. First of all, why would the parents allow their teenage daughter to go off with a grown man who's going off to be with other grown people at a party for grown people? I'm sorry. Please make that make sense. Okay? Is it because he was a celebrity and they just wanted her to get out there? Yeah. Some of these parents pimp their kids out. This is absolutely what I believe was going on. Okay? Because this doesn't make any sense otherwise. Now, he had a duty to protect the child as her parents entrusted him with her safety. He trafficked and or coerced the child to travel across state lines from North Carolina to New York and New Jersey with hidden intentions of providing the child with alcohol and marijuana and prostituting the child to his A&R Combs. Attempts to reach Swing were not immediately successful on Wednesday. Swing is also included with all the lawsuit's defendants in cases of or in causes of action alleging negligent infliction of emotional distress and violation of the Mann Act, which includes a claim for transportation of a minor with intent to engage in illegal sexual activity. Okay, so here's the thing. This is all real bad. Okay, this is all real bad. Now I want you all to pay attention. Hold on, because I'm about to pull up this lawsuit. Because even if we look, is this it right here? Hold on, beloveds. Let me pull up Liza Gardner's legal docs. Hold on. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Because this is what she said initially. And I knew this was going to be trouble. Okay, so The child was invited to New Jersey by close friends Dalvin DeGrates and DeVante Swing and other members of the group Jodeci. Upon information and belief, at the time, Jodeci were employees of UR and MCA Records. The child and the members of Jodeci are all from North Carolina. Upon information and belief, UR, MCA, and UMG subsidized Jodeci's housing and living arrangements in New Jersey. Upon information and belief, okay, I'm going to skip past some of that. Hold on. Okay, so now according to New York or NYPD crime stats statistics data, in 1990 there was a total of 527,257 crime complaints, in addition to the number of murders. Okay, I don't even know why all this is in here. Hold on, let me skip past this. We don't need that information. Okay, here it is. Okay. So in 1990, prior to inviting the child to New Jersey, Jodeci was signed by hip hop artist Heavy D to UR, a label that was a subsidiary of MCA, which was a subsidiary of UMG. Upon information and belief, Jodeci was assigned to UR employee Sean Combs, who took on the task of developing the new act. Now, the group was introduced after providing background vocals on the 1990 song Treat Them Like They Want to Be Treated. Upon information and belief, Forever My Lady is the debut studio album of Jodeci, released in 1991. Now, the child and her friend Monica Case met Diddy and Hall at the offices of MCA Records for this event. In addition to Combs and Hall, Miss Gardner met R&B singer Mary J. Blige and hip-hop artist Queen Latifah. So at the MCA event, the children were provided a lot of alcohol. Upon information and belief, MCA provided transportation for the children and other artists as they were visibly intoxicated. Please pay attention to how they keep using the word children. Okay, just to remind you and reiterate that they were minors. Upon information and belief, after the MCA event, the children attended dinner with members of Jodeci, Combs, and Hall. Combs and Hall were very flirtatious and handsy with the intoxicated children. Upon information and belief, individual defendants offered the children more drinks, even though the children had been provided excessive amounts of alcohol already at the MCA event. Okay, upon information and belief, Hall and Combs provided the children with marijuana as well. The substances were provided to the children throughout the evening. Now, at the ages of 16 and 15, the children were minors in 1990 and incapable of consenting to drink alcohol. Marijuana was also illegal in New York and New Jersey in 1990. Upon information and belief, in 1990, the legal drinking age in New Jersey was 21 years old. This was due to the national minimum drinking. Okay, we're going to skip past all that. So, towards the end of the night, Combs and Hall invited the children back to Hall's home in New Jersey for an after party. Okay, remember, because the complaint was amended to not amended, but they refiled it. Okay, because she actually was in New Jersey when this happened, and it was previously filed in New York. Okay, so upon information and belief, the corporate defendants transported the children to the home of Hall through cabs or private cars from New York to New Jersey. Now, it is important to note that Hall was one of the biggest R&B artists at the time. He had enjoyed great success as a member of the R&B group Guy. Based on information and belief, Hall was one of the corporate defendants' most important employees. Equally important as Diddy, who was responsible for managing the success of Jodeci as the group's artist and repertoire, A&R. Now, Combs was required to establish the group's sound and style. The corporate defendants relied upon Diddy, his expertise, to ensure they recouped the most out of their investment in Jodeci. So here's the picture with Aaron Hall with his arm around this young lady. Jane NW says, "Thank you, Queen, for all you do. I couldn't do anything before. Now, thanks to you, I can do something. Keep doing the great job you're doing. It's much appreciated." Thank you so much, beloved, for your kind words and also for your contribution to the channel. Peace, love, and blessings. I really appreciate you. Now, I'm going to share this screen because this is the picture that they're talking about with Aaron Hall with his arms around both of these young ladies. Okay, look at him. Now, one of them's face is blocked out. Okay, this is all so nefarious. At the end of the day, this whole thing's just getting worse and worse. Okay, this is the reckoning of the music industry. All the things we've heard for years or for decades, all the stories that have been coming out, all of the things that people have exposed and nothing's been said or done. I think it's all about to hit the fan. Okay, so depicted in the image that I just showed you was 16-year-old plaintiff Gardner and 26-year-old Aaron Hall and 15-year-old Monica Case. The children are being physically accosted by Hall. Now, while at Hall's apartment depicted in the above image, Miss Gardner was offered more alcohol and was physically forced into having relations with Diddy against her will. At the time, Diddy assaulted Miss Gardner. She recalls the side effects of the alcohol. She recalls Diddy mounting her and forcing up her skirt, pulling her underwear to the side, and forcefully penetrating her with his cucumber. Now, the children were not of legal age to consent to sexual intercourse with Diddy or Mr. Hall. Mr. Combs finished doing his business, and the child was in bed, shocked and traumatized. As she was in the process of getting dressed, Hall barged into the room, pinned her down, and forced open the child's legs. He then did the same thing. I'm not going to say the explicit wording that's used. But here's what I want you all to pay attention to. Now, I'm not going to pull up the audio, but I want you all to pay attention to this. Do you all remember that nefarious video and interview that Aaron Hall did on Vlad? I just played it for you last week because I was bringing back to your memory how he was talking trash about his baby's mother, Gloria Velez, saying that she was a puppy, that he didn't know she was a puppy. Okay. And I was telling you all that because the girl, Allie Carter, who's been exposed to stuff for years, said that they had these things called puppy parties, which meant they were minors, that they were children, they were too young. Okay. And so, but also in that same interview, if you remember, Aaron Hall was bragging about the size of his cucumber and what he does and being very vulgar in doing so. If you remember, he started talking about who has seen him getting his groove on. Basically, you can speak to Jodeci or Puffy or any of them ninjas. They've been at my house. They all see me F. They all know I'm a big nigga. Remember that? I meant to say ninja. Remember that? I'm sitting here reading it off the thing. So with that all being said, he was telling on them then. Aaron Hall dry snitching by running his mouth, by saying stuff. He said that they saw him, and I know that you all were thinking, because I sure was, what were they doing watching him do all of this? Because that sounded a little zesty to me. Okay, y'all sitting there watching, but now it's all making a whole bunch of sense, okay? So please pay attention. So with that all being said, I won't be surprised if the other young lady, because remember, there was another young lady who mentioned Jodeci as well, Joy Dickerson Neal. Joy Dickerson Neal, didn't she, in fact, also say something about Jodeci? Let me pull up her legal docs. Likes up, everyone, please. Like and share. Thank you in advance. Okay, here it is right here. This is all so crazy. I should be sharing this on the screen. Hold on. Let me share this. Let me share my screen so you guys can see this. Okay, so now let's talk about it because I could have sworn, and that's why I kept getting them mixed up, because I could have sworn there was at least two of the victims who mentioned Jodeci. Because I'm like, why are they hanging out with all these minors? I want to say it's on page 10. Hold on, let me see here. Yeah, she sure did. Okay, so listen. While in the home, Combs actually assaulted plaintiff. Plaintiff recalls feeling humiliated and hurt. Hold on. Hold on. Let me just check something real quick. Yeah, this is Joy Dickerson Neal. Okay. I was just making sure. All right. So, with that all been said, now here's what she had to say. While in the home, Combs actually assaulted plaintiff. Plaintiff recalls feeling humiliated and hurt, yet she could not escape the assault. Because she had been drugged, plaintiff lacked physical ability or mental capacity to fend Combs off. The next day, plaintiff's Vijay area hurt in a way that she had never experienced from any prior consensual sexual encounters. Now, feeling confusion, pain, and embarrassment and shame, plaintiff did not go to the hospital or report the assault to the police and sought refuge in her apartment, avoiding any outside contact. The next day, plaintiff broke down and tearfully recalled Combs' assault to her best friend. Shortly thereafter, DeVante Swing, a member of R&B group Jodeci, told plaintiff that Combs had filmed himself as assaulting plaintiff and had shown the video to Swing and others while working at the studio. Plaintiff asked Swing who had been in the video or who had seen the video, and he replied, everyone. Plaintiff was mortified as she learned that Combs had filmed the assault and knew it would haunt her for the rest of her life and career. Swing told plaintiff that he wanted to speak up against Combs, but he was fearful that the band would lose their record deal. Jodeci was in the midst of recording their studio album Forever My Lady. Forever Lady, okay, for which Diddy Combs was doing A&R. So I want you all to pay attention because this had to have happened around the exact same time. This had to have happened around the exact same time. Okay, now because in both lawsuits they mentioned them saying that they were working and Diddy was their A&R and they were doing the album Forever Lady. Okay. This is all real crazy. Like I said, hold on. I'm trying to see something because I can't remember Joy Dickerson Neal. I think she was an adult when this all went down. I don't think she was a minor though. I can't remember. But she actually was in a video with Diddy. Okay, she actually was in a video with Diddy. I'm going to show you all a picture of her as a matter of fact. Likes up, everyone. Please like and share because I looked her up. Okay, here we go. Now, this is a clip from her in the video with Diddy where she was in the car with him in one of the clips. That's Joy Dickerson Neal. This is absolutely nefarious. Okay, so with that all being said, two of these people, just like I thought, in fact, mentioned DeVante Swing specifically. So I wouldn't be surprised if she now amends her lawsuit and comes out against him because this is all just real crazy. Likes up, everyone. Please like and share. Thank you in advance. Okay, so now he's a whole co-defendant. And I told you guys this was going to happen. I know you all remember. I told you not just about Jodeci, but I told you there are going to be some people who are going to be witnesses, co-defendants, and unindicted co-defendants. And so it looks like DeVante Swing should have started cooperating with the feds. So he could have been held as a witness. But now he's getting sued. Okay, so anyway, with that all been said, DeVante Swing was arguably the most important member of Jodeci. He was the writer and producer behind the group's biggest hits in the 90s. He was also an in-house producer for Uptown Records, the label Diddy worked for prior to founding Bad Boy. Diddy is credited with helping to refine Jodeci's image as the rebelliousness alternative to Boys to Men. Unfortunately, the Moguls Association has now landed DeVante Swing in hot water, legally speaking. He has been named as a co-defendant in a lawsuit involving Diddy and fellow artist Aaron Hall. So, with that all being said, hold on. Now, according to another woman, because we already know what Liza said, but according to another woman, he was leaning against the wall or furniture or something, watching whatever Puffy was doing to Liza. Okay, Gardner said Swing was believed to be 20 or 21 at the time. And he was her co-guardian, so he is going down. I'm sorry. It's up in 2024. Okay? It looks like anybody can get it. Likes up, everyone please like and share. Most hated bronze flat power God said this is beyond nefarious. Yes, it is. Okay, but keep listening because it's still getting bad. So now Diddy's accuser, Thalia Graves, has been accused of bribery. I mean, like, this is all crazy. Now, we've heard of witness tampering and all of that, but a victim bribing somebody? That's almost unheard of as far as I'm concerned. Diddy Grape Accuser's ex claims that she offered a bribe, $3 million if you back my story. Now, let's not forget that this same woman, Joseph Sherman, aka Big Joe, the former bodyguard, he had some text messages. He supposedly had some text messages where she was asking him who he was and was he the former bodyguard? Was he Joseph Sherman? Now, if this man raped her, how does she not know who he was? How does she not know who he was? So her story's starting to fall apart. Okay, please pay attention. And where's Gloria Allred to say anything to address these allegations? Diddy's latest accuser, who's suing him for allegedly raping her and recording it, tried to get her now ex-boyfriend to corroborate her claim by paying him 7 figures. Now, Thalia Graves is suing Diddy and his head of security, Joseph Sherman, for allegedly raping her back in 2001. And in the lawsuit, she says she was dating one of Diddy's employees who was shown a video of the alleged incident. However, here's the thing. TMZ claims that they actually saw with their own eyes a November 2023 text exchange between Thalia and the man who was her then boyfriend. And in it, she reveals that she's planning to sue Diddy because he's the one that has the money. Because he's the one that has the money. Now, like I told you guys, I believe many of these victims, but I told you guys, I absolutely believe that some of them are just trying to get a bag. So it also appears that she offers to give the boyfriend $3 million if he agrees to back her version of the alleged events. After asking him to attest that he's seen the alleged video of the incident, the actual text reads, what do you do? 3 mil? So we've spoken to Thalia's ex, who confirmed the validity of the text messages and told us he interpreted it as an attempted bribe. After receiving the text, he says he blocked Thalia's phone number and also blocked her on social media. What's more, he says, they say, we're told Diddy's attorneys also have a copy of the same text messages. Okay, review between Thalia and her then boyfriend. Now, Thalia's attorney, Gloria Allred, told TMZ, it's very common that rich, powerful men and their supporters attempt to discredit, shame, and humiliate accusers who have the courage to come forward. The complaint speaks for itself. Our client is looking forward to her day in court. Your client sounds like she's lying. Okay, she sounds like she's lying. I don't know. She was very convincing to me when she was up there crying and boo-hooing. She seemed like she was really distraught emotionally and traumatized. Now, this lady is telling all out lies. She deserves an Oscar because it's starting to look like she's lying. So you'll recall that Allred and Graves held a news conference after filing the lawsuit, which was incredibly emotional. Thalia sobbed as she talked about the physical and mental trauma caused by the alleged rape. And since the lawsuit was filed, Diddy's former security head claims that he has never met Thalia Graves and was not even working for Diddy at the time of the alleged assault. This lady, I think she's lying. This lady has to be lying because, for one, here's the thing. She has to be lying because, for one, how does she not know who Joseph Sherman is? That's a big dude. Okay? That's a big dude, not somebody that you would likely forget. Overthought said she sounds not very bright. I don't think she's lying, but I guess I get why y'all think that. Well, it's starting to look like she's lying, honey. If they got receipts and stuff, if they literally have text messages, we'll see. And you can, of course, you can fake text messages, but we'll just see how it all turns out. She was trying to get ninjas to tell the truth when they've clearly been paid to hide the ish. You think that's what it was? That she was just trying to offer him the money so he would tell the truth? Okay. That could be the case, but I doubt it. I just doubt it. Okay? And not sure I believe any of that. And if she was offering him $3 million, what kind of money did she expect to get from filing the lawsuit against Diddy? Okay, that's real crazy. All right, so anyway, let me continue. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Now, with that all being said, I found something very interesting that Dame Dash was talking about. So Dame Dash was talking about, some of the stuff that was going on with Diddy, and I'm going to just share my screen. Allegations against Diddy and Jay-Z. Okay? And basically felt like maybe he almost got. Okay, please pay attention. Okay, so I'm going to share the screen. Hold on. I'm going to use an overlay because I don't have Dame's permission to use this, even though I don't think he would mind. I don't think he would mind. And in fact, an insider told me he wouldn't, but I didn't hear it from him myself. So just to be on the safe side, I'm going to put an overlay on the screen. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. This is all getting real crazy real quick. All right, here we go.
I have to think this. So and it's another level of gangster. So again, I ain't got no problem with people being gay, but if you're pretending you're gay and you're a gangster, that's gay gangster. And you could get robbed of your money, but you also could get robbed of your manhood. And that's a whole nother level of disrespect.
Now, isn't that what Ray J said? They're out here robbing people of their womanhood and their manhood. Please pay attention.
And, I'm thinking, I'm remembering when I was on Drink Champs. And then again, I have to think this. So Nori, don't think I'm beefing with you, but I just have to reflect. And I was on Drink Champs, and Nori was so adamant about me drinking Ciroc.
No, I can't do that no more.
That was yours, man.
It's over because
No.
not the interview. Come on, Dane.
How about this? We'll finish it with a shot of some.
Can you show Elliot Wilson for me? Well, let's take a shot of vodka.
If we done,
let's take a shot of vodka, Dane.
Are we done though?
But
vodka for us.
Well, I mean, I don't know if it's needed, but
Okay, I'm gonna skip past this. He's showing a clip from Drink Champs when Nori was trying to get him to drink, desperately trying to get him to drink.
there was a moment there where I really thought I was going to pass out.
Is if his hustle is putting stuff in people's drink, he made a liquor.
There was a moment there where I really thought I was going to pass out.
I mean, that's the illest shit in the world. That everybody was partying and you don't know what was in that drink. And if he was undercover gay, because I didn't know it. And obviously, if he was knocking men out and they were waking up violated, he's making somebody gay that doesn't want to be gay. So I'm like, what was in them drinks? And then I'm starting to think like, damn, when did hip hop start to lose its masculinity? When did dudes, and again, no disrespect to nobody, but like tough niggas started wearing dresses and pocketbooks. Like maybe that could be the reason. And I'm just thinking it through. Like maybe that could be the reason why hip hop took a turn for the feminine. Because that shit, if homie was really putting shit in people's drinks and he's making the liquor, and again, I don't know, and I'm not even saying it to be funny, but they saying, homie was putting shit in motherfuckers' baby oil. So how could you trust that person to serve you drinks at such a big scale? So I'm remembering Nori so adamant about me taking a shot of Ciroc, and I'm like, nah. And I brought my own, and now y'all can understand why I always want to make my own. So I brought my own liquor. You know what I'm saying? I was taking shots of my own. And then what happened, I made him take shots of Ciroc, and then he ended up getting too drunk, talking about take your shirt off and all this type shit. It's on tape. So it ain't like you just naturally start to think of things. And then I was thinking, there was this one time that when my daughter was 16, Jay had a show. And my daughter wanted to go. So I'm like, yo, I'm not going to deprive my daughter. So, I hollered at Jay, sent the kite, and told him I wanted to go to a show with my daughter. And they accommodated me to the fullest. People were really surprised to see me there, took pictures with everybody. But, and again, Emery's my brother, so I would hate to think that he was fucking around like that, pause. But he kept asking me somebody, that was the first time I had tasted that Douce. And I got ridiculously drunk to the extent, and my daughter and I were talking about this the other day, that I was like, yo, I don't get this drunk. Why am I so drunk? And I ended up, wrestling with Kevin Hart. Pause, nigga got me in a chicken wing. And I remember Vaughn taping that shit. And I'm like, yo, why you taping, Vaughn? So I'm thinking, I'm like, damn, because homie makes drinks too. And again, just if this is true, these are the things that I'm like just reflecting on. And if I wouldn't have played everything completely by the book, complete honor, then I could have been compromised. And what would have happened if I ever woke up feeling some kind of way?
Now, I want you to pay attention because he's now wondering, as I am too, are there so many zesty men in hip hop because of Diddy? He said tough ninjas wearing dresses. Is that why we're seeing all of this? Is Diddy the one who did this to the culture? I have questions. Okay. Overthought says, yeah, the excessive pauses are weird to anyone not from New York City. Right. But let's continue.
Compromise. What would I have done? And then I start thinking, I'm like, yo, homie's really a gangster, because that whole time, like after the first Cassie case came out, and he was just out smoking a joint, dancing, like literally to the day he went to jail, he was out in the park. Like you would have never thought a person had all those problems. Like I couldn't have handled that. So what it led me to believe is like, yo, things could be going a whole nother way over there. You'd never know. And then I'm like, how does he keep everybody so quiet? Because nobody's saying nothing. Whoever was down is keeping it real. Like y'all could keep a secret because I don't know who's what. And I'm like, well, I guess if you got something on somebody, then they won't say nothing. So for me, just hearing the depth of that and the fact that they're putting, homie in it, I'm like, again, if let's say all this time you thought somebody was the truth and that they were perfect, and you fought for them and you argued for them and you celebrated them almost sometimes to the degree of worship, and then all of a sudden you find out that everything you thought they was a lie, and that you've been promoting a lie, and that you've been promoting evil, even down to, let's say, not this situation, like a conspiracy theory that you really believe in your heart is real, but it turns out to be the purest form of evil. Does that mean you were unconsciously celebrating the devil? That you were the one that was spreading and fighting for the word of evil? And if that does become the case, will you have the accountability to say, yo, I was...
Shaving, waxing, and clinical laser are officially out. Soft, ingrown, free skin is in with Rose Skin Co. Meet Lumi, the new and improved.
Sorry, beloved. Hold on just a second. Now, this is all real crazy at the end of the day. So basically, hold on, let me close out this tab. Okay, so basically, this has been going on for quite some time, and we already know because Wendy Williams is the one who brought all this to the forefront in the first place about the zestiness in hip hop. Now, Overthought says that he thinks that this was already going on and that Diddy isn't the root cause. Well, I have questions. Okay, I have a whole lot of questions. All right, because if we go all the way back and backtrack it, who's the first person we started hearing was zesty in the hip hop industry? It was Diddy. Okay, that's the first person we started hearing was zesty in hip hop. It was absolutely Diddy. So I'm not saying he started it, but he may have. Okay, so anyway, with that all being said, let's talk about somebody saying that Diddy and Kevin Hart were messing around with the same person, with the same young woman. And also, speaking of Kevin Hart, I don't know if you all heard this or not, but someone has alleged that Kevin Hart was on one of the videotapes with Diddy. Has anybody heard that once in the chat? Has anybody heard that? If you all haven't heard that, that's what Mims is saying. Make it make sense. I don't know if y'all know who he is, but that's what he's saying, that he got inside information. But hold on, because this guy says that he was on one of those reality shows, and that one of the girls on there was Diddy and Kevin Hart's side piece. Okay. Now, mind you,
insider information on.
First of all, in my opinion, he's a whole clout chaser, because really, I was thinking, what the hell was he doing in her room? He says that the girl got some flowers or something or whatever in a card, and then he snuck in her room when she was gone for a week. My thing is, what the hell were you doing in her room? Okay, that is the nerve of him. And now he wants to play the victim. Okay, Maurice says, first of all, you don't wake up gay. You woke up violated. You're already gay or you're not. However, grape can cause trauma. Absolutely, beloved. I absolutely agree with you on that. And that's what I was thinking too when he said it, now you've made this person gay. No, you can't make someone that. Even if you violate them, that's no disparagement on them as a character. That's on you. Okay, that's on you. So with that all been said, and remember, this goes back to those Roman rituals that Diddy was supposedly doing to the god Bacchus, where basically the ancient Romans, they would force themselves on other men, and they felt like that was the way to make them tough, to toughen them up. And they absolutely did not consider themselves as being gay. They didn't consider themselves being gay, but they would do that, and they claimed it was to toughen them up. So this is all just getting real crazy real quick. But hold on. Now let's listen to this fool right here, because he is a fool and a clout chaser. Okay, as far as I'm concerned.
Diddy and Kevin Hart's involvement. I know this because I was on a TV show with a girl who was actively dating Diddy at the time. There I am. A quick Google search will tell you who she is. This girl was paparazzied with Diddy back in 2022, 2023. Obviously, the cast was concerned about her because the Cassie lawsuit just dropped before filming. Now, the first week of filming just had to be Valentine's Day. Now, Diddy's girl got a very expensive bouquet of flowers delivered on Valentine's Day, but she refused to tell anybody who it was from. It's a reality show, so obviously drama went down. Diddy's girl decided to leave the house for a week. So my girl and I decided to break into her room to redecorate it for show purposes. Just playing along with the drama of the show, we were shocked by what we found.
Bro, there's no way. Bro. Oh my God, from Puff.
The flowers were from Diddy. Love, Puff. This sent my girlfriend into a spiral. As a woman, she was terrified that Diddy had our address. She let the girl know how she felt and put the card back where she found it. The girl told Diddy what happened, and then Diddy threatened production. So the Diddy girl started screaming at my girlfriend, saying that Diddy was going to sue her because of what she wrote on the note. Worried that we were all going to discuss this sick shit that he was doing on our TV show. The fact that he wanted to silence a girl that he doesn't even know for writing on a note is absolutely insane. Production then pulled every cast member aside and instructed us to no longer have any Diddy conversation for the duration of the show. Diddy threatened to bankrupt our TV show and my girlfriend. We thought it ended there, right? But then Diddy's girl got mentioned in a lawsuit that came out publicly. When this went down, Diddy's girl happened to be in a fight with another castmate. Now that castmate just happened to be dating J-Lo's ex-boyfriend Casper. Diddy's girl was scared that the other castmate was going to use this Diddy stuff against her during their fight. So she decided to make a call to guess who? Kevin Hart. Now, at the time, none of us knew it was actually Kevin Hart until later on. So Kevin Hart called Casper and threatened him to make sure he gets his girl in check on the show. Now, Casper's girlfriend told all of us that Diddy's girl was also sleeping with Kevin Hart, who happens to be married with children and best friends with Diddy. Kevin Hart clearly made the call to Casper to ensure that Diddy's girl stayed quiet about the affair that him and her were having because, once again, he's married. Kind of weird that Diddy and Kevin Hart are both sleeping with the same girl and threatening our TV show, isn't it? Now listen, I'm just an ordinary blue-collar worker from Jersey, okay? Who happens to be dating a famous OF model, which is how I got on the show in the first place. Now, I'm not a social media star. I'm not famous. I have no reason to lie about any of this shit, okay? Now, the only reason I'm telling you guys all this is because when I was in Hollywood filming this TV show, I went through some sick, twisted shit, okay? So let me know if you guys want to hear about it all, because I'd be happy to make a part 2.
Clearly clout chasing. Clearly clout chasing at its finest. And he's sitting there trying to act like he's the victim and then talking about people called and made threats and all of this. First of all, he shouldn't have been in that girl's room. And them talking about they broke in her room to go in there and redecorate it for the show. That was just their way of getting in there to be nosy as hell and meddle in her stuff. Now, that type of stuff makes me annoyed. Okay, that type of stuff makes me annoyed because who does he think he is? Okay. But see, people like him, that's what they will do. Please pay attention. All right? Please pay attention. Sitting there talking about, oh, we broke in her room to redecorate it. Why would you be redecorating anyone's room? Why were you meddling through her damn things? The first thing they did, and I put the image of Diddy on the screen because I was trying to block out the part where he showed the clip from the show. Just for screw tool purposes. But nonetheless, they specifically went in her room to find out who sent those darn flowers. They were that nosy and that pressed to know who it was. Because why would you even care? Because it was so expensive. Why would you even be concerned? But that's what they did. That's why they went in there. And he's talking about he's just a regular person. He's not famous. Blah, blah, blah. He wants to be famous. He wants to be famous. This is a whole clout chase for him. He's hoping that now people are going to be requesting more information, talking about he went through this and that. Who cares? Okay, you're a nobody. Stay a nobody. That's all I'm saying, honey. All right, please. Jabbar in New York says something Diddy would do. Yeah, that is something Diddy would do, is call and threaten him. But I'm just saying, don't play the victim because he had no business in that girl's room. And why is he telling somebody else's business? Even if you went in her room, why are you telling somebody else's business? This is nothing but a clout chase. Okay, please pay attention. Now, with that all being said, I'm going to conclude this broadcast. Everyone, please get the likes up. Yes, he did. Absolutely. Okay. Inserted himself in the situation that had absolutely nothing to do with him. Nothing. Okay. Boba says, you have a point, Queen. This is going muddy waters. Absolutely, beloved. Okay. It's all nefarious. Bufano Duba said, I would also call production. Yeah, I would have too. Okay. I would have too. Exactly. Okay, so with that I've been said, I'm going to conclude the broadcast. Now listen, I'm going to be going live on the backup channel because we have to talk about Dr. Dre being sued by this man for harassment or whatever. And then also we got to talk about Kamala. We got to talk about Kamala. And we also have to talk about Trump. Okay, we got to talk about Kamala and Trump. Okay, I'm about to go in on both of them today. All right, so Luna says, everyone please hit the like button. Queen is putting in the work. Thank you, beloved. I appreciate you. Okay, so yes, y'all put in the likes, okay? Go ahead and hit that like button. Doesn't cost you a thing. All right, so with that all been said, each one teach one. That's how we grow and thrive. Do something productive, constructive, but never destructive. And always remember, beloveds, to keep the Most High first in your lives. And I want to tell you all something too before I go. This whole thing with Kabami is a whole lot more entertaining as far as I'm concerned than this stuff about Diddy. Quite frankly, I'm getting bored with it. I'm really getting bored with this Diddy stuff. Okay, I really am. But with that all being said, I'm not getting bored with Kabami and Trump because both of these idiots, they're gonna lead us down a path of destruction. No matter which of them gets in. Okay, so we're about to talk about it on the backup channel. Okay, so likes up, everyone, please like and share. All right. Each one teach one. That's how we grow and thrive. Do something productive, constructive, but never destructive. And always remember, beloveds, to keep the Most High first in your lives. Peace.
Gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen. Why you hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans? I got dreams like King Luther, shed blood like Kunta. You ain't helping my people, I ain't got nothing to say to ya. I want all the smoke like hookah. Talking reparations, America won't be great until they give us compensation. I'm like, I'm the hottest right now. See a bunch of lames out here trying to jock on my style. They be doing too much. I'm the queen, it's too easy. It's like they all at Popeyes, how they be talking so greasy. I just sit back and laugh while these haters get madder. So nefarious how they don't want my pockets with cheddar. I tell them they can do better. These snakes in the grass can leave a bite on your ass, cause y'all be trusting too fast. I got my foot on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threats. Running through every challenge like a relay, break no sweat. It's a cold game, so I got that blanket with me. Now that my people awaken, ain't no going to sleep. I do not play by my piece. This time I'm playing for keeps. You talking slick, but when I see you like them ends, we gon' meet. And I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen. Why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen. Why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got